Today I'm visiting Eyam. Eyam is one of those quintessential English villages in the Hope Valley in the Peak District, Derbyshire. The shutting down of mass congregations and social distancing is nothing new, as this story about Eyam will tell us in my short film to follow. Eyam has a dark past, for in 1665 the local tailor, Alexander Hatfield, took delivery of some cloth he'd ordered from London. It was Assistant George Vickers' job to unpack the cloth and inspect it. The cloth was damp, so George decided to air it in front of the fire. But unbeknown to George, the cloth was infested with fleas. The fleas that were biting him and making him itch were to kill him within 7 days. The disease spread through the village like wildfire, and the Reverend William Mompesson came up with 3 rules to save the village. One was each family were to bury their own dead. 2, the church would be closed and services held outside, and the villagers were to keep separated as not to spread the disease. And 3, that the village was to be quarantined, with nobody leaving and nobody coming in. On the 24th of June 1666, Mompesson told his parishioners that the village must be enclosed with nobody allowed in or out. Mompesson said if they agreed to stay, effectively choosing death, he would do everything in his power to alleviate their suffering and remain with them, telling them he was willing to sacrifice his own life rather than see nearby communities desolated. Detailed records of all those that died from the plague in Eyam are kept at the local parish church of St Lawrence. The disease ravaged for 14 months before it eventually died out in October 1666, after 1/3 of the population had been killed out of the 750 inhabitants. This is the tomb of Catherine Mompesson, wife of the Reverend William Mompesson. She stood by her husband through thick and thin throughout the terrible period of the plague, and unfortunately died right at the very end of the 14-month period. The village's boundary is marked out by these stones, known as cool stones. There is also a well, known as Mompesson's Well, where the locals would leave money soaked in vinegar, which they believed would kill off the disease, in exchange for food donated by neighbouring villages. The disease was very selective, as not everybody that came into contact with the disease became infected. Elizabeth Hancock buried her husband and 6 of her children within a week, but she survived. And so did the local gravedigger, Marshall Howe, despite burying many bodies. Elizabeth Hancock buried her family here. The site is known as the Riley Graves, named after the farm where they worked.